Okay, welcome back to Stardew Valley. One more time for now, but maybe I'll play it again in the future, who knows. Uh, I took a screenshot while I was doing a day. Uh, we saw Pam's testing the potato juice we sent, and she did send a letter that I wanted to share real quick, so I will show that on screen here. Uh, she got the juice and told me about a new television channel. We did this quest ages ago, but we hadn't gotten the reward. So I thought I'd show that letter on screen real quick. Now let's get back into the game. I didn't do as many days as I thought I would off screen, but we did make a uh, good amount of money, and I can actually show you that as well. I decided that I would take screenshots of things that I was doing so that if I decided that I wanted to show them afterwards, I could. Uh, Here's that earnings screen. I had a wine day, so with 2 sheds working on ancient wine, I got a good amount of that. So it will still be a couple days here before the shortcuts are actually ready. There are a lot of shortcuts, and unfortunately, some of them are vertical and only 1 tile wide, which means that not every shortcut that is opened up is accessible on horseback, which makes a lot of them seem a lot less useful than they would be otherwise, because, who wants to go on how useful are the shortcuts really if you can't be on the horse that moves faster? I mean, if you have the horse flute, you could take the shortcut, then use the horse flute to get the horse to the other side of it, but that's extra steps that I don't like having. But because we got so much money from the wine, we're more than halfway to the uh, return scepter, if that's the next thing I want to get. I could also go to the casino in the desert and get the Statue of Endless Fortune, the item that gives you a loved gift for every character on their birthday, and on other days, will give you things like diamonds. If you're not like me and just talk to people each day in the game and build up their friendship, naturally over time, the Statue of Endless Fortune can be very helpful to make sure that you're at least giving people birthday gifts and nothing else. But you see in a lot of speed runs or other challenge runs, the last thing a lot of people do is work on friendships. That's not the way I like to play the game. I like to just talk to people when I see them. Which is probably what's slowing me down from getting all the money I need earlier in the game. I would probably be able to achieve perfection a little bit faster if I, didn't care about the people. I did take another help wanted request from the main board. It was Robin's Resource Rush, but with trees that had regrown on the island and the trees I was growing in the desert. I was able to complete it in one day. So it's already off of the quest journal. I also took Skull Cavern Invasion, but I doubt I'll actually do it. So I don't think I'll be going to the Skull Cavern. I'm basically going to do the daily tasks and then just go straight to sleep for a couple days here. So I'm basically done with this day already. I'll check if there's any syrup done, but I'll just leave the pigs outside. Don't need to worry about getting them back in each day. I will show you the actual fishing info site. Thank you for joining into FIBS, the Fishing Information Broadcast Service. Despite our unfortunate name, you can rest assured that we provide only the most trustworthy information about this season's fishing opportunities. And it will show you the fish you can catch, the times, the weather, and the location. So, if you don't know when to catch fish, completing Pam's potato juice quest is an in-game way to help you find them. I'll just go to sleep. Got a crop fairy, which does not help us get an extra harvest of starfruit. If it did, I would be very excited right now. Should only need to sleep one more day for the shortcuts. I don't know, were we sure that our grandpa didn't live for 10,000 years? He seems to have some mystical influence. I could also do the math and double check for sure that getting a crop fairy this early didn't actually. Well, no, I don't think I bothered to put down any speed growth since it wasn't going to give me 2 harvests. So, or it wasn't going to give me 3 harvests unless I did deluxe speed grow and I didn't have enough. So I decided to not put any fertilizer down at all. So, harvesting those and replanting would still only give me the 2 for the season. So I'll harvest it all at once instead of harvesting some now. There was no harvesting or wine replacing to do yesterday, so we got to bed pretty early, but do remember that today is the uh, island ancient fruit harvest. Part of the reason I jumped at Robin's Resource Rush is I had done the wine that same morning and realized that I just did not have enough wood to make any more kegs. So I decided to get the wood. I didn't have quite enough trees in the main part of the island and planted in the desert to get all 1,000 wood,
But there were the trees that naturally grow in the desert anyway, and chopping those down as well did get me up to everything. The Nvidia app is telling me that I have some sort of reward available, but I don't know what that is. It's related to a 007 game, and the only one I really played was GoldenEye on the N64. I did try the next couple just to see, but they never recaptured the magic. I will still play the one on the N64 every now and then. Actually, when I replaced the control sticks for the N64 controllers, because they get wobbly over time, uh, one of the games I tested afterwards was 007 because if you replace the control stick wrong, you can break the Z button, and you use the Z button to shoot in that game. So I tested GoldenEye to make sure it was still working properly. And it was. I replaced the control sticks correctly. Now, I think the biggest culprit of, at least in my case, of the N64 control sticks breaking was Mario Party. No. The skin of my hand was not the only thing broken by that game. So it is not an honey day. The honey day is tomorrow, but I'm not going to break the Thursday cycle of harvesting by waiting for honey day to harvest. We did actually miss a honey on the previous honey day. When I was cutting down the trees, I found one that I didn't see behind one of them. Didn't get harvested. But I left it so that I can harvest all the honey at the same time. We're just harvesting their ancient fruit and we will be very happy to sell so much. That is our 738 we were looking for. I'll go ahead and sell the quality as per usual. Before long we may have to start selling some of the regular quality too. If I get to the point where I can't hold all of it. I'm just gonna sell the golden coconut. Oh, I can't sell golden coconuts. Well, never mind then. I think I figured that out recently and just forgot.
So I slept the day that I commissioned it. I slept one day off screen, and I've slept one day here so far. So I sleep one more day, the shortcuts should be open tomorrow. And I will show you all of them, whether you can do it on a horse or not. But of course, there are a couple additional things to do on Friday, including the greenhouse. So I'm not going to just ignore that, even if I'm ignoring most other things right now. I'm going to pull up a page, otherwise I'm going to forget one shortcut. And I know which one I would be most likely to forget. But we'll see. There's like hardly even a page on this because so many people don't bother to do the second community upgrade. Okay, there's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 major ones. Alright. The Stardew wiki page on the carpenter's shop lists the shortcuts and mentions if they are unable to be done on horseback. So it doesn't matter which one I take. There are only 2 community upgrades, so there's not another one I need to wait for Robin to finish the show. This is our last day. We'll show the shortcut and then we will move on from Stardew Valley. It doesn't mean that I will never come back to Stardew Valley if there's a request to maybe do a different sort of challenge or just play the game naturally or even throw in some mods potentially. I am open to the idea. I do love the game and do not mind playing it. But for at least a time we will be stepping away. I have enjoyed getting perfection again. I've had some files where I get very close and then kind of get tired of it and stop just before getting basically to the point where you're only trying to earn some additional money to finish things off. But I knew that if I streamed, I would stick with it to the end. In terms of our usual money making things, we have a lot to do today. We have the greenhouse and the island honey, but we will try and get through it quick enough to show the shortcuts. In fact, I might not even worry about the honey. I might just show the shortcuts instead. I will make sure that I'm doing the good cheese though. That got all out of whack, and I'm still trying to fix it. I hate when the good cheese is not moving normally. And it took until the 5th day of summer, but we finally used all of our tea leaves. Alright, we will do as many of the shortcuts as possible on horseback, but again, we can't do all of them that way. So the first one I will show is down in the forest. There's the path into town from over here, but a new path has been opened up next to Leah's cottage that goes straight to the beach. So that takes a lot of time there. If there's a festival being set up in town, you can use that shortcut to get to the beach without trying to get through town. Okay, there's a couple up in the mountains that we'll show next. Actually, I'll show this one next. There's one opened up here that takes you to the uh, tide pool, so you can get to the tide pool that way, even if you never repaired the bridge. Why you would never repair the bridge, I don't know, but if you chose to save the 300 wood, you can do it that way. So, our quarry is filled up, but there is a new path over here that leads down into town from the mountains, and a cliff opened in the cave side. One of my favorite additions to the shortcuts is a bridge here, so you don't have to go all the way around. You can go into the middle and up through there. There's a path over here to the other side of the river in town. And then the last one to show is over this way. I will get back on the horse for this. Of course, I can't pick up things while on the horse, but I can whistle for the horse even if it's just a couple steps away. If I were in this area when they walked past, that would be destroyed. The last one is over here, a shortcut that leads straight down to the tunnel area from the backwoods. We've always been able to see both areas while we were in there, but now we can actually go down it. So, on days when the prismatic butterfly is here, that would be very helpful to have that shortcut. Actually, there are several of these shortcuts that would be helpful if you're trying to check multiple places in town faster. But, yeah. So those are the shortcuts that are opened up by the community upgrade. Some of them are quite useful for a variety of reasons. So I will, since it didn't take me too long to show those, I will get my honey today, but then we'll be in the middle of my sentence. I'll give a second to make sure that everything has come back. And what I was in the middle of saying is I will collect the honey and save my game, and I will uh, stop the broadcast temporarily. And if you are here from Facebook or Twitter or Blue Sky, you already know that I said I would likely hop into a little bit of Skyrim, since I knew that what I would be showing in Stardew Valley today would not come anywhere close to the usual length of a stream. So since I don't want to, like start an entire new stream, and I haven't decided what I want to do with Pokemon yet, nor do I like to always stream the same game on back-to-back days, regardless. Uh, we will hop into the little side Skyrim playthrough that I have, that I've shown on stream a couple times already. And we'll finish off the day in there. So I will collect the truffle oil because I just can't leave the truffles alone. Thank you for the follow. Soiree Claire? I would say that. Welcome to the stream. Here for the very, very end of Stardew Valley, at least for a while. So, having done all that, I will hop into bed. We will see one more earnings screen. I'm doing okay. You see our ancient fruit and our fairy rose honey. Yes, I'm here. Am I muted? I don't think I am. In case, I'm going to cut the stream for just a few minutes to change the game and the title in Twitch, and I will be right back in with Skyrim. So give me just a couple minutes.